Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the final film in the new rebooted trilogy of Planet of the Apes, War for the Planet of the Apes, and continuing the trend of having obnoxiously long titles, just switching one or two little words at the beginning. But joking aside, I love these films, and I'm a huge fan of sci-fi. It's my favorite genre, and I love the original Planet of the Apes. And I remember when Rise came out, I'm like, really? They're gonna remake this? And I finally saw it, I'm like, I really enjoyed this. And then Dawn was a revelation to the point where, like, holy crap, this movie is intense, amazing, and I'm gonna say it. War for the Planet of the Apes is the best out of them. And honestly, this film has skyrocketed to my number one film of the year so far. And I don't cry, I don't tear up very often. And it takes a lot for me to get that way. I teared up twice watching this film in two very different parts in the film. This movie hit me like a sledgehammer. I was in awe watching this from start to finish, and a lot of that has to do with director Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves is quickly becoming one of my favorite directors, and he is so talented. He did with Cloverfield, what he did with these last two Apes films, and I cannot wait for him to get his hands on Batman and do the Batman after taking over for Ben Affleck. So excited to see what he can do with that, especially with what he created here with such a complex, intense, big budgeted hero, Caesar, in these films. Now, this story is gripping and artfully told in such a way, there's scenes that I was just in awe of just watching how they constructed it, building everything around it, and what goes into fantastic scenes and moments in this film, and how it's just brought together, and how you slowly just peel away across this film and getting towards the end of this film and seeing this arc that you get to go on with Caesar, and it's told in such a well-crafted way that's so meticulously put together, and the pace is such a slow burn, building that tension, and you're engrossed the whole entire time throughout this film, which is really impressive when your connections are to apes. They're apes, but they're real characters, and you feel for them. And I'll get to the performances in a second, but this tone is so somber and intense. This isn't, like, honestly, I wish this didn't get released in the summer, because it's, from a box office perspective, it's getting eaten up a bit by Spider-Man, which that film's fantastic and fits right in the summer. This should have been like a fall release, where it's like there's those action sequences which are intense and well staged, and you could just see everything play out in such an intense way, an explosive way, and such a real and gritty and affecting way. But overall, this is a dark film. This isn't for kids. This is PG-13, but they could have taken the step to make this R, but probably would have shot them in the foot from a business perspective. But this is so intense and created in such a way that you have this dark, looming feeling throughout this whole entire film, but it does not take away completely from a hopeful gleam throughout this film that these apes can get away and live a life where they can thrive and not have to worry about being in danger all the time. That those hopeful moments are really resonant, and then there's devastating moments. And I'm not going to give anything away, but there are sequences, as I mentioned, that really made me tear up and really hit me. And the effects, you can't talk about this film without talking about the effects, and what they do is so amazing. And you're literally watching, and yeah, I'm not using literally correctly because they are actual humans with CGI, but you're looking there and they're apes. They look like real apes. Doesn't look like CGI. You look like you're watching a video of an ape interacting in this way. And it's mind-blowing how special effects have come that far, but if this doesn't win the special effects Oscar, I don't know. I don't know what to do with the Academy Awards, because The special effects in this are so amazing. And you have the cinematographer Michael Saracen. Everything is so artful and meticulous, and the shots, how they're used, the slow motion, how that's used, how everything is framed and beautifully shot and put into this view of a gorgeous looking picture of these woods, these deserts, these snowy plains, these apes, and these intense interactions between the apes and the humans, the Colonel and Caesar, all put in such a way where you feel the tension in the air through that camera, and that's saying so much with everything brought to life in this film. And the writers Matt Reeves and Mark Bornback, the characters are so interesting and complex. Caesar is such a great hero and protagonist right at the center, and then characters like Rocket and Maurice and young girl Nova and Bad Ape in this are so well fleshed out and have such layers to them. They're real characters, and they're apes. I'm going to keep hammering that, but these are apes, and you feel for them and you understand them. And then you have the Colonel, who is such an enigmatic, interesting, layered character that you feel afraid of what's going to happen every time he's on screen, and how the story plays out and how everything falls. It just feels so fitting to close out this arc of Caesar and this trilogy of films, and how all these characters wind up where they start and where they finish makes so much sense. And just thinking about the sharp and effective dialogue, there's intense moments, and the back and forth between some of the characters, and the humor actually in this film is really well done. Really shocked, because you have a character like Bad Ape who could easily be just so annoying, but he's so endearing and has moments where he shows emotional depth to him as a character, and through the dialogue and what is said just builds up everything. And there's so many themes of survival and family and bigotry and what it means for humanity, what we need to look at ourselves as humans, and what we need to worry about for ourselves moving into the future. And Michael Giacchino's score is so diverse and breathtaking and well crafted and unbelievable. I loved it from start to finish. Every piece of music fits so well. I love how it goes back to some of the original themes of the original Planet of the Apes, and just such a mixture of percussions and drums and like tribal sounding music, and then piano and strings, and everything works so well and fits the scene so well. This film, there's sequences where the music makes those scenes so much better and elevates them to the point where it's heartbreaking and devastating to watch. And the acting, Woody Harrelson is intense and mysterious and does such a fantastic job with the Colonel character. Steve Zahn as Bad Ape is so endearing and so funny. Karen Carnival, who plays Maurice, which I didn't know Maurice was a woman this whole entire time, but it's a female orangutan. She does such a wonderful job and really injects so much emotion into Maurice. Maurice is my favorite character in these films. And then Mia Miller, who plays Nova, the young girl. Her physical acting in this was so great because she can't talk, and just there's a scene with her and Maurice, and just their facial expressions and that little girl's expressions are so heartwarming and really sell what they're trying to do. And then there's Andy Serkis. Give this man an Oscar already. I don't give a crap that it's motion capture and other things go into the performance. So do live action performances. Directors, makeup, everything goes into that performance. Don't give me that crap that, oh, because it's animated over and they can manipulate things, it's not really his acting. Andy Serkis is a star and a fantastic actor and really brings it in this film, and I would nominate him for Best Actor. And this is going to be a crowded field this year. There's a Daniel Day-Lewis film coming out, so you know, and it's his last one, so he's getting nominated, probably going to win. But Andy Serkis should be up there. His performance as Caesar is heartbreaking and triumphant and layered, and you understand his mistakes and why he does them, but you feel for him so much and his drive to be there for his people and for his family, and trying to balance the needs of both of those things. This film is amazing. Go out and see this. I'm going to give War for the Planet of the Apes an A